Hello, traders and investors. Good morning to you all. This is our Solid Financial Foundation video for this is for really for Monday, which is 3/27. Okay, there are a lot of things to go over, but before we start, let's go ahead and make sure we understand that this legal disclaimer. You can find out more about that on our details page and also on the About Us page of this channel. This is mainly for basically for learning purpose, educational, and entertainment only. My opinion, uh, you know. So just read all the details and agree before you watch the video or make any trading decision. Okay, now we're going to go over a lot of different things. If you look at my video from Thursday and also my shorts from Friday, you're going to find out that I had given out some of the key levels, and you can see it how spot on it was on Friday. I don't have to go over it. You can see it yourself. Just watch the video again on Thursday and see those levels and compare it on Friday. Okay. Now, the purpose of this video is a couple of things. Number one, I want to make sure that y'all understand that there are a lot of YouTubers right now that are claiming to be a guru and giving you all kinds of information, and most of it is very, very confusing, and a lot of it is not practical. Purpose of this channel is helping you to have a good financial foundation so that you can make better decision. Okay, better decision with your trading, or overall better having a better decision with your financial future. Okay, and that's all. I'm not trying to expect to make any profit or money or anything from that. It's basically think of it as kind of like when I was first starting out, I saw a lot of different misinformation, and again, uh, just to give you guys much better understanding. So we're going to go through a lot of different things. We're going to learn about our key levels. We're going to learn what the good support, what the good resistance, when to enter, when to exit, regardless if you are options trader or futures trader or just an investor of stocks or ETF. It doesn't matter. You can probably get something out of everything. There's a lot of different factors involved with your trading decision or with your investing. A lot of it depends on what you are and what is your strategy. Uh, Personally, myself, yes, I'm a long-term investor, but at the same time, I also trade, and my trading is primarily uh, on the options where I do covered calls and puts, but more on a long-term uh, type of options I do. But I also do a lot of day trading, scalping, and swing trading in futures market. So a lot of the things that I'm showing you is actually from the micro S&P futures I trade, which is right now the MES June, which is MES M3. Okay, now we're going to talk about a lot of that, but before we do that, we have to understand that market heavily depends on a lot of different factors. Okay, and so you have to understand market and economy, especially for the short-term traders. You're going to find out that stock market does not always reflect 100% of what is happening with the economy. Okay, so if you are just looking at the financial news, then a lot of times it's not going to give you the accurate picture of what is happening with the stock market that day or that hour. Okay, so but it does have an impact, and you were basically understanding your strategy where it should be for that. So let's look at how and what has happened last week, and also what to expect on Monday. Okay, now if you notice that S&P futures, Nasdaq and Dow Jones futures are expected to go up today. Okay, uh, now also you can find out that Silicon Valley uh, bank sale, that's the SVP bank, that is getting close. They're about to get sold. Microsoft and Tesla. If you are a long-term investor on those stocks, yeah, it is getting to attractive point to buy those stocks. Okay, for holding it for long term. So now S&P futures, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones futures are slightly up on Sunday night, US, after it opened, and also if you notice that on Monday we're going to see a lot of uh, the bank crisis is still has a lot to do with our Monday trading, and but as I was saying earlier, that the Silicon Valley Bank is getting close to being sold. Now, so again, look at the futures market right now. Yeah, it is trying to do rally, and I think at this very moment you can see that I'm actually on a short position right now because I think it has hit the resistance and it will take a dip. Where it's going to go, I think it can go as low as 39.78 or 82 on the of the S&P 500 futures, and then it's going to reverse it and go up again. Okay, so again, right now this is 11:33 p.m. Central Time, which is, think of it as kind of like a pre-market for European market to open. Okay, the majors future rose kind of modestly for the week last week, but the Russell 2000 hit 2023 low because there's a lot of bank stocks and small caps. Uh, you know, it took had a big effect on the Russell 2000 because a lot of them are in that in there. So again, thanks to Fed's intervention last week, a lot of the small banks and medium-sized banks did much better. They could have done really, really worse. Okay, now, so basically, you can tell that the Fed intervention helped the big cap stocks. Okay, so the Nasdaq stocks and Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, uh, they all actually more on the bullish side at this moment. Okay. And if you notice that Apple and Microsoft, they're actually, um, think of it as kind of like they're a little bit above my preferred buying point. So again, it's your decision if you want to go into it right now or not. Okay. Now, just because individual stocks are possibly in a buy level, that doesn't mean that investors have to act on it right now. Okay, so there's still possibility it will they will go down. Okay, before it can be very attractive to buy for long term investing. So now bank news this weekend has been relatively quiet for bank news, at least comparing to the prior couple of weekends. Okay, First Citizens Bank, which is FCNCA, is in a advanced talk, a very early talk to buy Silicon Valley Bank. That's what Bloomberg reported on Sunday evening. Late Friday, Fed reported that depositors at a small domestically chartered banks, uh, which is which is expected to be covered. Okay, so And again, on Friday, many banks rebounded because of that news from 2023 low. Uh, even Wall Street giant such as J.P. Morgan, Morgan Stanley, uh, basically closed a lot better on Friday than expected. Now, Deutsche Bank. Here's the interesting thing about Deutsche Bank. Keep an eye on Deutsche Bank. If Deutsche Bank fall, then that may create a domino effect. So again, overall, banking crisis continues. Okay, nothing is set on bank right now, especially for the small, medium banks are in crisis. Fed is doing everything they can uh, to make sure that those banks don't collapse. All their customers. I think Fed is trying to protect them for all the deposit, not just $250,000 limit they have. Again, that's it's a banking crisis continues. Okay, now Dow Jones futures. Okay, uh, as I was saying in the beginning of the video, after the market opened, we saw Dow Jones rise about 0.3%, S&P 0.3, and Nasdaq uh, basically it was Nasdaq was negative zero point 0.2, but it is on the rise. Okay, the 10-year yield fell 1 basis point to 3.37%. Now, crude oil futures rose slightly. Okay, remember that overnight action in Dow Jones and elsewhere doesn't necessarily translate into a actual trading in the next uh, regular stock market session. So at 8:30 my time, when the stock market open here in the Wall Street Open, just because what you're saying with the Dow Jones, that doesn't mean it will be like that. So again, uh, the stock market rally settled with solid gains for the major indexes, but with the, I'm expecting very volatile. Okay, trading. Uh, Dow Jones Industrial Average rose about 1.2% in last week's stock market trading. S&P 500 index went up 1.4% last week, and Nasdaq Composite bounced 1.7%. Okay, the small cap Russell 2000 even went up 0.5%. Okay, now U.S. crude oil futures went up 3.5% to $69.26 a barrel last week, falling on Friday, but coming well off intraday low. Copper prices popped 4.8% last week. 10-year yield went down 2 basis points to 3.38%, hitting a 6-month low of 3.295% intraday Friday. The 2-year Treasury yield went down 7 basis points to 3.78% after tumbling to 3.55% Friday morning. Okay, now Federal Reserve raised rates by quarter point on Wednesday and signaled just one more hike remaining. Okay, now still market overwhelmingly expect a pause in May. Okay, followed by several Fed rate cut starting in July. Now, the Fed rate hike outlook depends greatly on whether or not the bank crisis is under control. So just because market is expecting, that doesn't mean that's what Fed will going to do. Okay, so that's the important thing to remember. Even if the problem ends, banks are likely to slow down lending even more. Okay, so that move alone will slow the economy and reduce the need for additional Fed tightening. Okay. Now, if you look at the ETF, now let's talk a little bit about the ETFs. Okay. Uh, ARK Innovation. Okay. ARK Innovation ETF, this ARKK ticker symbol, fell 2.5% last week, while ARK Genome ETF, this ARKG, went up 0.5%. Okay. Now, your spider S&P metals and mining ETF, that's XME, rose 1.6%. Spider S&P home builders ETF, that's XHB, ticker symbol, edged up 0.4%. Energy select spider ETF, that's XLE, climbed 1.2%. Healthcare select sector spider fund, which is XLV, advanced 1.1%. Okay, financial select spider ETF XLF rose 1 cent last week after hitting a 5-month low on Friday. The spider S&P regional banking ETF carry went up 0.2% after going down to the lowest level since late 2020. Okay, now let's at this point let's go and look over our charts real quick. Okay, so if you notice right here, okay, so let me go to uh, my chart. Okay, if you notice right now, I entered at 40.22. Okay, and my entry is actually on a short position because I'm expecting it. It has already hit at this moment the resistance and expecting it to go down. So again, as I was saying earlier, I think we're going to probably see it may go down as much as like 39 72 or so, but and before it goes up again, or it might be at 39.82. So my exit will be set for this current one. And depending on what is happening, I might set at maybe 39.92. Okay, so that's what I'm going to set. Uh, I'm going to be ready to purchase a long position at the time, and have those exit at maybe 40.18 or so. So that's the level I'm expecting. So what do I think will going to happen on Monday? Okay, so again, as I was saying, market low we might see at like a let's say 39.72, and market high we might see at maybe at probably at 40.34, and but I don't see it past 40.62. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking, and you can see that I have some of the short position at this moment set up, which I might remove uh, because because I don't think it's going to go up that high in at this on the U.S. pre-market. Okay, so again, let's look over real quick on the Q side, which is the Nasdaq, which is the MNQ M3. On the MNQ M3, if you notice that it is doing very much similar to what S&P is doing, it has reversed its direction. It has hit 129.65 as making that as a kind of a resistance, and then is going down. If it goes down, I think it will probably reverse it right about 120, maybe at 128. I would say 128. I don't think it will be that much of a down. It might be like 128.82 when it will hit the low, and then it'll going to reverse and it will going to go up. I do see that there's a possibility of that. If I do enter on the Nasdaq side, I probably will going to exit right at about maybe 129.95 or so. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking for the Nasdaq. If I look at Dow Jones, let's look at Dow Jones real quick, and I'm going to go to the 1 hour chart for the Dow Jones. Same as S&P, it has reversed. Uh, don't say it go beyond 322.72, and is going to. I'm thinking that probably a good exit might be at 32800. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. Okay, now let's continue looking at a few of the other things. Okay, now if you notice the major indexes all had a very solid weekly gain, but the stock market rally attempt had a series of big volatile swing and divergent action. Okay, on Wednesday and Thursday, the indexes basically went up sharply higher, but fell back from resistance. So it hit the resistance and fell back. One of the resistance I talked about on the S&P was actually 4,000, and uh, so basically stocks, if you notice that they reversed sharply lower Wednesday following the Fed rate hike, and comments from the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. On Thursday, the big cap indexes rose, but came off high, while the Russell 2000 went down to 2023 low as bank stocks tumble. Because again, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of small and medium-sized banks are under Russell 2000. On a more positive note, the index reversed modestly higher on Friday. If you notice, it was almost like a copy paste type thing for Friday as it was on Thursday. Okay, the Nasdaq Composite rose slightly stronger, holding above all the moving average, and the S&P reclaimed its 200-day line this past week. But then it hit the resistance at the 50-day line and tested its 200-day again late in the week. Still, it did hold the 200-day and moved back above the 21-day line. The Dow Jones also had a decent gain, despite tumbling back below the 200-day moving average. Even the Russell 2000 ended slightly higher. The rally attempt has been concentrated in growth, and even that's even concentrated in a relatively small number of mega caps and the cheap names such as Apple and Microsoft and Nvidia. Okay, so basically, semiconductor industry have been strong, but we did have some selling. Now that didn't necessarily happen to Nvidia. Nvidia is pretty strong. As for the home builders, looks pretty solid. Some restaurants are doing well. Medical products and systems makers are starting to go up. Some software stocks besides Microsoft are going up, including Salesforce.com, ticker symbols CRN. Gold has been a big winner among the bank crisis. Many bank stocks stashed Friday losses, basically removed its losses and even turned higher for the day or for the week. So they have relatively done well, again, thanks to Fed. And a bit of a hope on that front. But financial have held up and rebound at various point in the past few weeks, only to break decisively lower soon after. So what to do now? Major indexes rose for the week. Anyone buying near or high on the Wednesday or Thursday likely is sitting on losses. So be careful when you buy. Okay, you have to know your resistance. You have to know your support. Okay, so if you're taking long position, make sure that you're buying it in the support and selling it at resistance. And opposite applies to if you're in a short position. Make sure you're buying it in the resistance and selling it at the support. Okay. So investors, if you're long-term investors, you should be careful about buying anything new. You might consider taking partial profit while you're at it. Okay. Now, if you are getting in as an investor, then do it slowly. Okay. Actually gradually enter when you see that the market is more on the bullish trend. Okay. I think that's it for now. So we're going to go ahead and stop our analysis today. Make sure that you click on like and turn on the notification after you click on the subscribe. Please support this channel. I mean, only way that you can help me if you click on like, share the videos, and click on subscribe. Okay. All right. Happy trading, guys. Be careful out there. Okay. Thanks. Bye.